Hi everyone, over to you, James.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Cloudinary's Digital First Asset Management session highlighting Cloudinary DAM. My name's James Grace, and I'm a Cloudinary Technical Customer Success Manager located in New York City. For over 17 years, I've traveled the globe introducing thousands of people to Apple Macintosh, Windows, and Linux-based digital asset management technologies and workflows. I initially got my start in the industry all those years ago, working closely with various creative and marketing teams, primarily focusing on integrating existing on-premise Microsoft Windows, FreeBSD, and Linux server infrastructure with the recently released Apple Macintosh OS X, assisting content creators just starting to transition their complex workflows away from Quark Express to the various Adobe Creative Suite products, now known as Adobe Creative Cloud. We're going to start out today's session talking a little bit about Cloudinary's current product offerings. So the Cloudinary Media Experience Cloud includes two product families: the Programmable Media product family that includes our Media as a Service solution for developers, and the Media Applications product family that includes out-of-the-box turnkey customizable products for practitioners. Today, we're going to be focusing primarily on Programmable Media. Cloudinary got it started a little over a decade ago by providing media as a service through our programmable media products, which offer robust APIs and as modern SDKs for developers to intelligently automate the visual media lifecycle end-to-end. It includes a set of management APIs as well as editing APIs. The Cloudinary Media Experience Platform is a purpose-built, media-centric platform that's extensible with the largest set of pre-built integrations across the digital experience tech stack. This ensures that you can easily bring order to the chaos of your visual assets throughout the stack. The platform addresses the entire rich media lifecycle from sourcing and managing to transformation and personalization to optimization and delivery to the measurement of results for continued iteration and improvements. Cloudinary has invested considerably in understanding and providing robust services at each stage of the lifecycle. The entire Cloudinary Media Experience platform is powered by the Cloudinary Media Intelligence, which is our artificial intelligence and machine learning engine that we have trained on the largest set of media data in the industry, giving it the deepest understanding and most accurate treatment of media of any like-kind AI on the market. Smart capabilities powered by Cloudinary Media Intelligence are found throughout all of our products across the entire asset lifecycle. In order to help our customers get up and running quickly while also allowing for customization, we provide robust APIs, modern SDKs, as well as pre-built widgets, add-ons, templates, and integrations, all of which are customizable. We support the key media formats from imagery to video to AR and more across any device, screen, or location. Let's take a little bit of a closer look at the Cloudinary DAM or Digital Asset Management Workspace. So on the left-hand side, kind of see here, we've got quick access to the Shortcuts toolbar, which provides menu selections. Along the top, we've got the global search and also the advanced search controls with the primary asset workspace with all the thumbnails directly beneath. Overlaid on the right-hand side, we've also got an alternate view of the interface, which is showing the folder structure. And the idea there is that if folks have more of an idea of where something may be filed, or they just have more of a comfort level with browsing folder structure, they can do so. So double-clicking on a thumbnail brings up the detail or the preview section of the interface. And then we also have the ability to look at metadata as well as a much larger view of the image or the video or the document that we're looking at. We've also got the various transformations displayed beneath the preview. And we'll take a closer look at that in a second at the later part of the presentation. So one of Cloudinary's more powerful workflow features are upload presets, which allow for specifying predetermined behavioral workflow logic during processing. They can be applied automatically per upload method, meaning that if something's coming in via the API or an SDK, or if something's coming in through the DAM interface like we see here. And it can also be applied depending on the type of asset. So you can specify if you want a preset added, if it's an image or if it's a video, or what Cloudinary considers raw. So when Cloudinary considers raw as something that's neither image nor video, not camera raw. So don't confuse it with that. They also can be selected via user selectable dialog, which we'll take a look at now. So hold on one second. So in this case, you can see that we're going to either click on the upload button, or this can be dragged and dropped right onto the interface to get the same view. We're going to select one or more assets. And then we get this additional pop-up that comes up that allows us to select an upload preset. Again, these are just examples. You can have whatever presets your team needs to have access to, but the idea is that each one of those is a unique preset that may have some behavioral logic depending on what's selected. Today, we're going to be focusing on a newer, amazing capability available within the Cloudinary DAM interface that allows for specifying eval or evaluation processing via JavaScript within upload presets, as well as highlighting the importance of empowering your technical teams to provide additional functionality without the need for requesting product changes. This allows for enormous flexibility, as well as often immediately introduces significant value. So we don't have a ton of time today, so we're going to only look at a few different sort of examples. This is going to be fairly light touch, but we're also going to look at some practical applications of these near the end of the session. So the first thing that we're going to look at is this concept of mapping existing embedded metadata over to structured metadata within Cloudinary. So the idea here is that you may have a photography team or content creators that perform the majority of their metadata tagging within some sort of standards compliant product. Right? Could be Adobe Lightroom, Photoshop, Bridge, Photo Mechanic, Capture One, whatever products those teams are comfortable with, as long as that metadata is getting embedded in a standards compliant way. When those assets come into Cloudinary, we can create mappings to say, hey, if we've got something in the copyright field or the keywords field or the description field, we can map that over to a structured or defined field within Cloudinary. Right. Something else to kind of keep in mind is that by default, Cloudinary will already extract any existing embedded metadata when items come in for viewing and searching. So that could be the EXIF or the EXIF metadata, IPTC, XMP, Dublin Core, et cetera. Any of that sort of embedded metadata, as long as it's added in, via standards compliant product, will be visible right away. But some customers want to go one step further. They want to make they want to highlight that metadata and make it visible in one of the structured fields. And of course, also make it a little bit maybe easier to search for as well. The next example is moving items to a particular folder per an embedded metadata value, right? So the idea there is that we may have something that's coming in that may be tagged with a keyword of footwear, for example, and that could be moved to the /clothing/footwear subfolder automatically during upload, right? So it's possible to define a default upload folder within an upload preset. And of course, users can interactively navigate to a folder to upload something to a particular folder if they wish. But the idea here is that you can add some intelligence that can be especially useful for API or SDK integrations as well. So those a lot of times are in headless situations, or where you have situations where you've got integrations where maybe a human being isn't interactively, working with the content. Using something like this that will allow you to have an action happen based on a value can be invaluable. The next example to talk about is extracting one or more values within an item's file name over to corresponding structured or defined metadata fields. So oftentimes what we see with customers is that they'll have some sort of naming convention for their files. They're named a certain way, and they'll want to pull one or more pieces of that over. And in this case, we may have a creative team that's relying on predetermined file naming conventions that include a product SKU, right, within the file name itself. And they may want that automatically inserted into the corresponding product SKU structured metadata field during upload, right? This can be especially useful when you have additional actions that may be happening after the fact, like synchronizing data from another system like a CRM or a PIM, and you need something as the key. Oftentimes it's going to be a product ID or a product SKU. And so the idea of being able to get that identifier, that unique identifier in right away without anybody having to add it manually, that can then be reused is a big time saver. And let's take a little bit closer look at file naming conventions. So when you're looking at file names, a lot of times folks do have some sort of discipline within the teams, and their files are named in a very specific way. Here's an example of that. You can kind of see at the beginning, we've got a product SKU, right? We've got 4 alphanumeric digits, a hyphen or a dash, 4 alphanumeric digits behind that with an underscore. In the middle of the file name, we've got a short descriptor of kind of what the item is. Behind that, we've got a version, and then of course the format after the dot. So even with very simple file naming conventions, there's oftentimes at least 1 or sometimes 2 data points. But then some of our customers have 3 or more data points within their file names, and it can be a big time saver. So, all right, we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at what this looks like in practice. We'll go ahead and take a look at somebody uploading. In this case, we're going to go to the product images. We're going to select a particular subfolder. We're going to click upload. You can also drag and drop, of course, if you prefer that. We're going to select 1 or more files. We're going to hit open. Select a particular upload preset. In this case, it's going to be the automatic product SKU. You can kind of see that this is the preset. This is the folder that the items are being uploaded to. Once they get uploaded, take it a second to add in. We're going to go ahead and double click one of the thumbnails to bring up the detail of the preview view that we looked at earlier. And then we're going to look at the metadata result. And in this case, you can kind of see that with this eval processing logic, we've got the product SKU field pulled from the file name that's going in both the product SKU and the tags field as well. Something else that you can do with this is pre-flight, right? So in this case, we've got a file name that didn't actually pass, and we can make a note of that within the metadata. Another example is automatically identifying tags from file names. So the idea here is that we may have just keywords that we want to pull out, or tags as they're referred to in the Cloudinary DAM, not necessarily getting into if it's a SKU or if it's a descriptor or a version. We really want just some of those important values added in so that to make it a little bit easier for searching, right? So oftentimes content creators may rely on some sort of tags or values, and they maybe don't want to add those in manually. All right, so again, let's take a look at what that may look like. We're going to navigate over to the product images folder again, pick a specific subfolder. We're going to go ahead and browse for 1 or more items. Again, you can drag and drop if you prefer. Some folks like to click on that button at the top. In this case, we're going to select the file name auto tagging upload preset. and click on upload. So same, very similar as the one that we looked at before, same steps, but in this case, if we double click into the preview, you'll see now that instead of that going into a particular defined or structured metadata field, now those values have gone straight into tags. So maybe a little bit more simple workflow for folks that don't maybe have as defined methods for tagging, but you still get some great results nonetheless. Okay, so let's take a look now at some practical applications once we've got content that we've got added in, and once we have metadata added in as well. Something else to kind of be aware of is that metadata values can be dynamically applied directly to image and video content via a combination of powerful conditional transformations, along with a wide variety of text, image, and vector layer styling options. So while we're talking about this, if you look in the upper right-hand corner of this slide, there's a QR code. You can scan that with your phone to see a real live example of what a text overlay looks like from the metadata. We'll take a closer look at in just one second. But one thing to kind of note about this is that desired transformation specifics can be saved as name transformations to be easily leveraged by both technical and non-technical teams. And also, once they're implemented within the delivery URLs that you kind of see here, it also provides reassurance that the content will be delivered per the requisite branding guidelines. So website visitors won't be able to modify the parameters encapsulated within. Something else that's nice about this too is that you have the ability to change the styling across a wide swath of existing content simply by changing the name transformation parameters. So again, we're going to take a look at this in practice, what this may look like. And here we've got one of our content creators actively working within the Cloudinary DAM. And they're working with a number of these name transformation or transformation presets that you see beneath the preview. And in this case, we've got one that's doing an overlay along with an SVG image. So we've got some text, delivery message that they call it in this case, and also a delivery watermark. And we can watch them as they actually change that. We can click back on it again to re-render it. We can see the update. And we can also see what that's going to look like, in this case, using Google Chrome, if somebody actually goes to view that on a website. It's also easy to disable. So in this case, we're giving our content creators or our DAM team the ability to change dynamically, what's, the wording as well as the watermark as well. We're also going to navigate over to the name transformations. And we can see here that they're going through and looking for the transformation that we're just looking at. And this is how we actually create and edit these name transformations using the transformations builder. Okay, once we've got that name transformation, we're going to take a look now at an asset that does have a valid SKU. And this is going to be that image that QR code pointed to. And you can kind of see the result here. So a nice and easy way, once you've got that metadata there, you can have a nice overlay and make it brandable right within the asset itself. We can also see an asset that doesn't have a product SKU. And in this case, that same name transformation, you won't have any overlay as expected. Okay. Thank you so much for your time today and watching the presentation. Hopefully this was fairly informative and exciting, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed presenting. One thing to kind of take away is that repetitive asset management taskings, which may have previously been accomplished at different stages via a variety of disparate methods, can now be completed automatically right within the Cloudinary framework. We've highlighted just a few examples of what's possible, but the importance of empowering your technical teams to provide additional functionality without the need for requesting product changes allows for enormous flexibility and often introduces immediate significant value. For attending the session, I'd like to give you access to our DAM Practitioners Playbook. We interviewed about 10 DAM field experts on a variety of topics, so be sure to scan the QR code here to get your copy. And thank you.